Hi, welcome back to What I Want to Eat Right Now. Today we are making an eggplant cheesecake. I saw this fantastic recipe in Otto Lengi's new cookbook, Plenty More, which, first of all, his first cookbook, Plenty, is fantastic. This new cookbook is also really, really great, amazing. I mean, the recipes are really stupendous. One caught my eye, eggplant cheesecake, and it's not really like a traditional cheesecake, but it's like a savory cheesecake, and it's really great. I've made it a couple of times now. It is really, really, really fantastic. So I'm going to show you how to make it. It's really super easy, really, really delicious. I think you're going to really like it. So what I got here is I have 4 eggplants that I peeled, and now I'm going to slice them into sort of 3/4 inch slices, so they're not too thin, not too thick, around this size. Can you see that? I'm going to come up a little bit closer to the camera. About 3/4 inch thick. So I'm going to do all of those. Now, in the original recipe, he has you put them on a cookie sheet and put olive oil on it and bake it in the oven for like 40 minutes or something. I'm going to try a different version also, which is I'm going to grill them, because really the whole point of this is you want to get the eggplant cooked. So I like grilling. I think it imparts a nice smoky flavor. It saves a lot of mess. You can also do it, you can use it with, it can take less oil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it on the grill, outside, even though it is pouring rain outside, because I really want to do it on the grill. So I'm slicing all these up. I'm going to get some olive, I am going to put some olive oil on them and some salt, and I'm going to cook them on both sides until they're nicely golden. Not too much, but just enough so that when they get into the cheesecake, they're cooked. Okay? So, and the original recipe called for 2 medium-sized eggplants. I did it before with 2, and I didn't really feel like the eggplant was enough. Like there wasn't enough eggplant feel about it. So I'm trying now with 4, and I know that eggplants shrink a lot when you cook them. So let's see, we may not use all of them, and you could maybe try it with 3, and if you want, you could try it with 2. It's just more cheesecakey and less eggplanty. Okay, so I'm gonna cook the eggplant and be right back. Okay, I just got done grilling the eggplant, and I'm gonna sort of try and get up here. Hopefully you can see this. The eggplant got really nice grill marks on it, and it's nice and soft. And as I said to you, I put some olive oil on it, so it would get a nice flavor to it also, and I salted it. So this is gonna go into the bottom of the cheesecake. And I am using a springform pan that I've greased. Now, the original recipe calls for putting it on a cookie sheet with foil and whatever, but I don't know, there's something about that I don't like cooking on foil particularly, and it doesn't feel like it's going to be thick enough for the whole thing, and it's going to be like just sort of like a, I don't even know what. So I'm using this. What's happening now is we're going to make the cheesecake mixture, and then we're going to assemble it. This is really, really, really easy. So I've got 3 eggs here. Okay, so 3 eggs, and I've got 5 ounces of feta cheese. And to that I am adding 5 ounces of cream cheese, and now I've weighed this, but you want to make sure you do the measurement properly. And I'm just going to break this up a little bit to make it easier. And to that I'm going to add 1/4 cup of cream. And I'm using a dry measure. I know this is sort of like the wrong thing to do, but I'm using a dry measure. I happen to like it, it's just easier. It's easier to clean. Out of there. Okay. And now I'm just going to use some hand mixers and mix this up, and then that's going to be the topping that goes over the eggplant. So we're going to just start. I'm going to start layering in eggplant on the bottom of this pan, and I'll show you in just a second, but I'm just going to layer it in sort of overlapping on the bottom. And you can kind of do this any way you like. I mean, I'm just doing it the way that I normally make like an eggplant parmesan, but you can really do it any way you like. But this is what I'm going to show you what I'm doing. One second. Okay, so I've just coated the bottom like in a layer, overlapping layer, eggplant on the bottom. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sprinkle with some tomatoes, and I have two different kinds of tomatoes. I have some dried tomatoes and some fresh tomatoes. I'm going to sprinkle this with some of the dried tomatoes on the bottom here. And I'm going to put a little bit of oregano. So I've got some fresh oregano, and I'm going to just tear some of the leaves on the bottom here, so the bottom gets a little bit some seasoning as well. And I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil just on some of these, because some of these eggplant look like they could use a little bit more. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm just going to put another layer. So I've got kind of two layers. And I think you could probably do sort of as much as you want, meaning you could make it sort of 3 layers. I think 2 is going to actually be the right number, because at a certain point it's going to be too much eggplant and not enough cheesecake mix. But just tuck them all in there, and I think it looks fantastic. Again, I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil on some of these, because some of these they got sprayed on the top a little bit, but you could use a little bit more. There we go. Okay, again, same thing. I'm going to put some more tomatoes, a little bit more oregano. I'm going to tear this up just so it's all over the place. And I salted the eggplant. And the feta is pretty salty, so I don't know if we really need to have too much salt. I put some pepper in here, but I'm going to put a little bit of salt. All right, I'm going to take just a pinch of salt and sprinkle a little bit of salt in there. Again, as I said, the feta is reasonably salty, but I'm going to just add a little bit more, and I added some salt to the eggplant. And now I'm just going to pour this over, right? Okay, I'm just going to pour this all over that eggplant mixture. Ooh. Wait, I am such a mess today. And you can see, I'll show you, there's some of the eggplant is kind of sticking up through there, which I think is going to be a good thing. It's not totally even, but it looks like I think it looks great. And as I said, I've made this a few times before, and it's turned out fantastically. So now what I'm going to do is I have these fresh tomatoes. There's about a cup of fresh tomatoes. I'm going to sprinkle these on the top. And again, if you want to make it really pretty, you can sort of arrange them nicely. My approach is a little bit more random. Sort of a nice way of saying haphazard. And same thing, I'm going to add some more oregano. Tearing up the leaves, sprinkling them. And this is now going to go into a 400-degree oven for 35 to 40 minutes. And then it's going to come out and it's going to smell, the house is going to smell amazing, and you're going to think this is like the greatest thing you've ever tried. Okay, we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks.